Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you very much for your greatest support. Now, fellow Kenyans, before we continue or before we dive into our discussion, because what I want us to talk about, I want us to talk about different things. Why we have women leaders who cannot lead but rather keep on fighting other leaders, and also the issue that is happening in ODM between Edwin Sifuna and other delegates or other ODM leaders. I would like us to talk about those things. But before that, I've seen some combination, and I was like, kwani Wameru what? I don't mean any I don't have any problem with anybody, but I was like, kwani hii mambo na mira inakuwa inaharibu akili? Because when you listen to these leaders speaking, and nimepata some a combination here of leaders from Meru, vitu ambavyo wanavisema you are like, god damn it. So what is going on? Yani watu wamechanganyikiwa, mtu mpaka sasa hivi bado hajui rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya ni nani, majina kamili yake William Samoei Ruto ni gani. Listen to this.
Mbere atoshokeria rais wetu President Ruto Ruto
wapi tu tamu ya honorable Raila Odinga.
When I came His Excellency, kuna vijana nilikuta pale walikuwa wananiuliza ama ngari yako iko nafasi, waweke kura sao siko kwa ndebe ubebe uende naso Nairobi.
Now, fellow Kenyans, as we get into this discussion, let me just quickly have this request, because the equipments. And I'm requesting, guys, if you can stand with me, your 100 shillings, your 50 shillings will be enough. I want to work on now. I can get quality sound and also make some studio, because maybe in the next 2-3 months, I would like to start a podcast. But we have to start from somewhere before we divert, or maybe before we do something else. But then before that, we have to prepare ourselves. That is why I decided that, okay, because I have a team here, let me request you, if you can stand with me. I really appreciate, guys. I've started seeing people like Fox. Thank you, guys. I've already seen yours. Thank you, guys. God bless you. I know others are also coming. So if you're willing, just use the number. I really appreciate. And at the end of the day, we'll see the outcome of this. Now, as we get into this discussion, fellow Kenyans, let me say this. I really don't know why. I normally ask myself that, did we make a mistake? Did the people that were making were coming up with the constitution, did they make a mistake of talking about this issue of the third gender rule, whereby in every place a woman or a woman must also be there as a leader? For instance, there are no people, hakuna watu ambao wameharibu jina ya uongozi ama wameharibu uongozi hii Kenya kama wanawake. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because women, yes, they are good leaders, but women cannot continue just talking about anything wherever they feel like they need to talk about it. I'm saying this because imagine a woman is standing and threatening Rigathi Gachagua, simply because Rigathi Gachagua, simply because they feel, not that Rigathi Gachagua is, but simply because they feel like Rigathi Gachagua is one that maybe caused Raila Odinga's sickness. Because Rigathi Gachagua alijitokeza na akasema kwamba yeye sio virus, na Kalonzo sio bacteria. So that is why they feel like they have to attack Rigathi Gachagua.
Sasa nimeona jana hii watu ya ODM wakileta upuzi, ati hiyo mzee yao ako na matatizo, ati wanataka kuwekelea Kalonzo na mimi. Kalonzo ni bacteria, yeye ni virus. Sasa maneno ya ugonjwa, Kalonzo na mimi tunaingilia wapi? Sisi tunatakia hiyo mzee mema, tunataka wakuwe pamoja na Ruto, tuwafukuze pamoja kwa debe 2027. Harambe! Harambe!
And suppose this statement was made by somebody else, I think action could have been taken. Sahi huyu mtu angekuwa anatafutwa. But simply because now it was made by somebody who claims to be in the broad-based government, the people that claims to be in the government, that is why it cannot be taken serious. But I feel like even the DCI, even these guys, this action should be taken against this person. I want us to listen to this woman, the way she's speaking, and then I come back so we can continue with this discussion. Listen to her.
My dear brother Gachagua, tafuta security. Mimi ni wazimu. Pali nitapatana na wewe, nitakumalizia aibu, ndio ujue baba ako na jeshi lake, kuanzia wake na waume. Lakini baba yetu utamheshimu upende usipende. Kwanza mwambieni hapa, Dr. Ochilo ameleta vitu vingi vya kutibu watu. Hata ako na room ya wazimu. Dr. Ochilo ameweka hapa room ya kuweka watu wazimu. Kuja hapa Dr. Ochilo atakutibu for free kwa sababu umeisha ruka akili, ng'ombe ya mtu. Kwa herini.
Now, can you imagine that there is a leader and she's threatening another leader? Unasikia vizuri, anasema vizuri kwamba Rigathi Gachagua should put his security alert. Anywhere watakutana itakuwa ni vita. So it means that right now, if anything happens to Rigathi Gachagua, if anything happens to Rigathi, let me just say this, if anything at all, anything happens to Rigathi Gachagua as we speak right now, then it's very easy now to trace this statement and look for this woman. She is a woman rep. But then why would you talk like that, by the way? Why would you just open your mouth wide and say and talk as if you care less? You know, one thing I've realized with the Raila'S supporters, I'm sorry to say this, but one thing I've really realized with William Ruto, with Raila'S supporters, is that they just speak. Especially women. Unapata kwamba women yani wanawake wanazungumza tu. They just speak. They don't care because I don't know whether they normally feel like hakuna kitu ambacho tutafanywa ama hakuna kitu ambacho tutaambiwa. It's so embarrassing. There is also this other person, that is the Siaya County Women Rep, that is Christine Ombaka. I would like us to listen to what she's saying.
You underperformed. Your language is foul. You have no leadership skills. You are a total failure. Don't try to mention Raila'S name the way you are doing, because Raila is above both. You are a person with no history. Your history is stinking. We have heard terrible things about you, and that's why you are impeached. You will be impeached again and again, wherever you will be. But the presidency, you will never see the light of day. Don't waste your time. Just go home and take a break. Take Rakodi, Gachagua. Don't try again. Don't try us. I don't like people fighting Raila Amolo Odinga, who has brought peace to this country. Ruto, thank you very much. You are working with Baba Raila Amolo Odinga, and we are seeing the fruits of your labor. You are performing very, very well. Even here, we are in this stadium, Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Stadium. Your hand is here. Your government built this stadium.
I've been asking myself a question here, which I would like all of us to ponder over. That suppose Raila Amolo Odinga became the president, what would have happened? And why is it that majority of these people that are talking are women that are coming from Luland? Is it that they don't have anything to do? And mark you, these people that are speaking, when you look at the areas, when you look at the places where they're coming from, there are no developments. Development is development is scarce. Places where they're coming from, they're completely hakuna developments. Yet they are here fighting somebody who is not in the government, somebody who is just trying to work on how he can. I don't know what to say. That is why nimeuliza, suppose Raila Amolo Odinga became the president. Unadhani shida ngapi tungekuwa nazo kama sasa hivi? Kama sasa hivi, just because he entered into a coalition with William Ruto and all these things are happening. So suppose maybe yeye ndiye alikuwa kiongozi, yeye ndiye mzee ambaye watu wanapaswa kumsikiza. Like he's the one that is making order, he's the one that is giving, anasema kwamba do this, do this, do this. What would have happened? I don't know whether you've ever asked yourself that what would have happened? Suppose now Raila Odinga, let's say that Raila Odinga now is the president. Unadhani all these things that are happening could have happened? Na kama zingefanyika, what could have been maybe the way out? Because First of all, we have to work on how we can get out. We have to work for the way out. The way out is that this issue should be tackled. And that's what nimeuliza. You see somebody like the Christine Ombaka. You see somebody like that woman that I've just spoken. And also people like Gladys Wanga. Gladys Wanga is not like Gladys. I don't know. Actually, sijui niseme nini. The problem is the women that we elect. I think we should have this law, or we should have this rule whereby no woman is supposed to be given opportunity to lead. Because when women lead, women lead with emotions. That is normally the problem. Women lead with emotion. And whenever you see a man with too much emotions, you really need to look at that man. Maybe huyo mtu alilelewa na, I'm sorry to say this, when you see a leader, especially leaders, these politicians, when you see these men politicians who are too much emotional, take a keen look at them. You realize that maybe one or two of them walilelewa na single mothers who are bitter. So walilelewa na emotions. That is why unaona wanawake wengi sana wenye kwa ODM wako na emotions, because they're asking themselves that, and this question pia huwa nauliza kila siku, that suppose now let us take Raila out of the picture. That right now Raila Odinga is not in politics. It means that wanasiasa wengi hawatakuwa kwenye siasa. It means that a lot of people will suffer politically because they don't have anybody to rely on. They don't have anybody's back to lean on. Raila Odinga they are using Raila Odinga as a scapegoat. So ile siku yenye Raila tukuja nasema kwamba mimi mambo na siasa imeisha. Ama Raila Odinga, let's say for instance Raila Odinga passes. What would happen? It means that siasa ya watu itaisha, si ndio? The second thing I would like to say is this. I've heard James Bob Agiorengo speaking today about Edwin Sifuna. And he's saying something that is very much correct, which I would like all of us to listen to. Listen to this. Now, that is Bob Agiorengo. That is the senator of Seya County, the governor, Seya County Governor, James Bob Agiorengo.
How are you reconciling that with the new energy that's coming up? For example, the Secretary General is quite vocal just about how it needs to shift and evolve from what it is now, what you've described it. How is ODM reconciling that new energy?
I don't think it's a question of reconciling, because it's still the Secretary General. And by the way, in terms of all these parties, I think ODM has got a Secretary General. If you ask you who's the Secretary General of these other parties, it'll take you a little time to remember who they are. He's a wonderful individual, and it'd be a great loss not to have Sifuna as Secretary General. That's how dynamic the party is, because in a lot of political parties, you have formations, you have caucuses. In the United States Democratic Party, it has caucuses, including the Black Caucus is generally they belong to the Democratic Party, save for one or two in the Republican Party. So I think ODM is not a party that belongs to the praise and worship kind of formation, because you've got elements who can speak up and say the truth to power. Just in as much as we are partly in government, I don't think now we can say there's a donation. I think the proper thing to say is that we are in government, but not structurally. Yeah, there's the coalition is not a coalition, because coalitions you have to have something more as opposed to an arrangement. Yeah.
I see leadership of the ODM. So we have a young, full Secretary General. If we look at the three deputy party leaders now, we have the governor of Kisii, the senator of Higa, the governor of Mombasa as the Secretary General, as the deputy party leaders. Do you think this party, as you sit back and look at ODM at 20, can it survive ODM minus Raila, Orengo, Anyang' Nyong'o?
I think that depends on what we do, and that will depend on what the party is. If we keep it to be a progressive movement and a party for the broad masses of the people, then it can survive. If it's a party that is based on individuals, based on some personalities, then ODM may not really survive the test of time and be a great party to even celebrate its centenary like ANC has done in South Africa. So the question of the core ethos or ideology of the party is very important. And people must continue, we in ODM must continue to talk about what are our principles, what is our blueprint, political blueprint, that makes it a unique and distinct party. I mean, take the great leader we have in terms of party leadership. But, you know, is every ordinary member of ODM able to talk about what is the party principles, right. What is its ideology? I think there we still have some work to do. I don't know whether, you know, what happened in Tanzania, you know, during Mwalimu Nyerere. They used to have a very important member of the executive in charge of ideology, some of the best brains, so that in as much as Tanzania was one party, there were some fundamental principles that made TANU and then CCM to be a progressive party. Okay. And you know, when the party flounders or goes the wrong direction, it is easier to make judgment. There's some political parties where they go left or right. There's nothing you can judge them upon. But ODM, I think, has got a past and has got principles on which a lot of people can judge the party, whether they are the party that they know or this is a different formation.
Orengo is saying that if, let's suppose Sifuna decides to leave ODM, then ODM is going to fail it. Because having a Secretary General like Edwin Sifuna is not easy. And I normally say that being Edwin Sifuna is not easy. Being Sifuna, the Secretary General of a party that feels like it's the only party that is supposed to be heard in the country, saying that it's the longest party since independence, is not easy. Because hapo lazima utapigwa. Hapo lazima kutakuwa na wale watu ambao watainuka juu yako. Kuna watu kuna kupendwa, kuna wale watu watakupenda, kuna wale watakuchukia, but all of them they are under you. They depend on you. So you have to bear all this. That is why watu wengine huwa wana compare Edwin Sifuna with Babu na Mwamba. Truth of the matter is that Babu na Mwamba and Edwin Sifuna can't be compared. That is the naked truth. Edwin Sifuna is not just an SG. That guy, hata tukubali tukatae, Edwin Sifuna is the one that is carrying ODM. Edwin Sifuna ndiye anabeba ODM just like this. You see? So I really don't know why all these things are happening, where these things are happening, but truth of the matter is that if Edwin Sifuna leaves ODM, ODM is going to, of course ODM ilikufa, ishakufa already, but now kuna tu wale watu ambao bado wameibeba, wako na kasehemu, wameishikilia hivi kama yai, ambapo wakiamua waiachilie, jinsi ambavyo Raila Odinga ameshikilia William Ruto, akiamua kumwachilia hivi, basi atakuwa amepasuka. That is the same way. There are some people in ODM who bado wamebeba ODM, yenye wakitoka, wakiamua waondoke, then ODM is going to be kufted completely. It's going to die completely. So I really don't know what you think. I would like to give you a chance at the comment section to tell me what you think concerning these two things. Number one, I want us to measure into this thing. Do you think should we have another rule that says that women are not supposed to be elected? Because trying to look at these women, by the way, what is hao wanawake huwa wanafanya kazi gani? Kazi ya women rep inakuwa gani? Leave alone members of parliament. the work of the women rep inakuwaga gani? Because majority of these women that makes noise, they are women rep. Ati wewe kazi yako ni kusimamia wanawake. Unasimamia wanawake kufanya nini? And then unakuja hapo unatupigia kelele mara Gachagua this, Gachagua that. Why would you threaten someone? No, why would you threaten somebody? That is the question. Why would you threaten somebody? Simply because of nothing, of something that even he doesn't even know. The time has come. I think the time has come for these people that are Raila Odinga's diehards. They call themselves Raila Odinga's diehard, yet they can't die for Raila Odinga. To step up. They should know. They should adjust the game. They should adjust the game and know what to do, when to do, how to do it, and where. I think that is what I can say. After all, guys, that's just my thought, and that is all I have for today. Let me know what to think in the comment section. Please don't forget to drop me a comment. Tell me what to think, where you are watching this video from. If you're within the country, tell me which part of the country you're watching from, and if you're outside the country, you can also tell me which country you're watching from, so that I can also know. But all in all, fellow Kenyans, please don't forget to subscribe. Until we meet again, I've been your host, Boniface. Bingo.